Everyone's going crazy about AI and how you can start a business with ChatGPT. Let's cut the bullshit right now. Starting a business even with AI is extremely difficult and time consuming, and most of you are here for quick gains. And for a lazy crypto degenerate like myself, there are much better ways to take advantage of the AI trend with doing around 99% less of the work. In this video, we are going to look into FET, which is an AI related token. As usual, I'm gonna share with you some fundamentals, things I like, things I hate. We're gonna do some price prediction, but most importantly, I went down the rabbit hole of really investing in such kind of narratives, and I want to share with you my conclusions and how personally I will be approaching this new AI trend that we're seeing popping. Let's jump right into it and let's see first of all what exactly is FET. If I can explain Fetch.ai and its token FET very simply for people to understand, this is basically combining the power of the blockchain together with AI capabilities so that in the future we can really have these AI agents that can do stuff for ourselves. For example, if you're driving your autonomous car and you're looking for a parking spot, this assistant will be able to find a parking spot for you, reserve it, and so on. This will all happen on the go. It will be very easy, at least in theory. However, if you really try to understand what exactly Fetch.ai are currently doing, it's very hard. First of all, their website is very vague. The explanations are very broad and actually very short here, if you can see this. And I actually challenge every one of you to go into this tweet. I'm gonna link it below. It's from the CEO of Fetch.ai, and he's explaining in a very simple and understandable way what exactly they do and what exactly are their projects. I challenge you to understand this and to summarize in like 3 sentences what exactly they'll be doing. It's a very complex matter, and I'm not gonna act like I understand absolutely everything. I actually don't. And I think 90% of the people out there probably will do exactly the same. And that's why I think this overall trend of AI and crypto is more hype than substance, because the actual products are really hard to understand, especially for retail investors. And some of them, in my opinion, are quite far away from actual implementation. But let's continue with the analysis and let me show you what exactly I really like about this project. I'm gonna do the entire review, not only of the project, of more like my investment thesis, and I'm looking into this specific token and pretty much every other AI token as a degenerate crypto play. I'm gonna explain to you why, and that's why I want to start first with the one thing that I really like about this project, and it's the market diversification. You can see that it has Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, Bitstamp, Bitfinex, Gemini, pretty much all the major exchanges have listed this token. It's an old token, and whenever I see this for trading in my book, it's a really good thing to have this kind of exchange diversification. And no matter what the fundamentals of a specific project is, whenever I see this, I definitely look into the chart, and if I see a setup, it's high probability that I might take it. So this way, it doesn't matter if I don't understand exactly everything that a project does, I can take advantage of the hype. And the next thing that I really like is that they have a fixed supply of tokens. And here I wanted to point out something. Here on CoinMarketCap, we have the total supply of this number just a little bit above 1 billion tokens. However, the max supply that it shows, I think, is wrong, because if you go to CoinGecko, you'll see that the max supply is completely different. And actually, when I was looking into the documentation, this is the correct number, and most of this is already in circulation, as we can see here from their inflation graph, from their tokenomics. Right now here we are towards the end, so this is somewhere in March, let's say, let's round it up, March 23, and most of the tokens are already in circulation, which again is something good, and we won't be experiencing big dumps by early investors because most of this is already done. The next thing that I really like is that their FET token, first of all, is based on their own blockchain. It used to be an ERC20 token, but it's moving on its own blockchain on the Atom Cosmos ecosystem. So that's a good point. And also the token will be used for payments of services on the network. And I think this is probably the best utility case for a token. And I'm happy to see that this project has it and they are planning to use their own tokens. However, when you're looking at their website and what is exactly their token, like very vague explanations, and you'll see that there's a trend in this this, and all through the project I see just random marketing stuff that really sound good on paper but don't give you the essence of what's happening behind the scenes. But before we get into the things that I don't like, let me just show you one more thing that I like. They have a roadmap for 2022-23, and they have been delivering all through the last years, all through the bear market. They have been building and building big. They just launched their new version of their wallet, which I think is the first and most important thing if you want to have broad adoption. And also here on the roadmap, you'll be able to see that it's packed with all of different things. You can pause here. I will also have this as a link in the description. However, most of this is really generic and it's really hard to understand for normal people. It's mostly building. This is what I can tell from everything that's going on. And I'm pretty sure that the focus of this project right now is to really build the ecosystem behind that will lead to the adoption later when the world is actually ready for this kind of innovation and for AI touching pretty much every single area of our own life. However, this all sounds great on paper, but there are many other things that make me extremely concerned, and these are a few of them that I want to show you right now. First of all, it was really hard to find their tokenomics, and usually this should be posted on their white paper or it should be on their website like most good projects do. However, I had to go to Binance where they had a pre-sale some time ago, and I had to go through this document to find their tokenomics. And when I found them, I wasn't really excited about them because first of all, you can see here that from the initial supply, we had foundation 20%, we have founders 20%, and we had advisors 10%. So pretty much these are all people part of the team. And this means that 50% of all tokens out there were distributed to the core team. And this for me is a big red flag, especially when I was listening to an interview from their CEO and he was talking about all the beautiful world, decentralization, and how AI will make it a lot better and how we want to take power away from the big boys like Amazon, Google, and so on, and give it back to the little people out there and to the little companies, which I'm presuming he's saying that he's a little company and that he wants to take control of a bigger share of the market and basically make a lot of money looking at the tokenomics. So I'm not sure that this is ideal for the general philosophy of decentralization. I don't really like how it sounds. I don't really like the distribution here. And for me, and this is actually the next point that I don't really like, we don't really need blockchain on some of the things that they're advertising. AI on itself is very powerful and very capable, but why do you need to bring it to the blockchain? That's what I'm asking myself. And for the most things that they are mentioning, for example, the example that I gave you with the cars and how they're going to be able to find the parking spot, or also they're planning on a project with Bosch, which is it will communicate with their machines and it will tell them when they need maintenance and so on. I don't understand why do you need the blockchain and the decentralization in this case. Bosch is a company, it will own these machines and they will communicate with the headquarters of Bosch, and it sounds great in theory on the Internet of Things topic. However, why do you need the blockchain here? I personally don't understand it. Maybe some of you might understand it better, and if that's the case, feel free to let me know, because for me it's very interesting, but honestly I don't truly understand why do we need the blockchain. Maybe they're using the hype around the blockchain and that this will be the future and so on. Maybe there's some real case scenarios. I'm not sure. And when we look at the Bosch partnership, the last information that we had was from February 2021, and now it's already 2023, and there hasn't been any news surrounding partnerships or implementations of their products. So my thinking here is like, okay, this is something very serious that they're building. It probably is really hard, but when are we going to see some end results that potentially can drive the price of the token up? Because that's what we're here for. I really like this project, for example, but I don't really have any idea what's happening in the background. And me as an investor in it, if I want to buy their token, I am interested mostly in the gains. I'm not here because I'm a philanthropist and I really want to see this project succeed and AI come into my doorstep and solve all my problems. No, it's much simpler than this. I'm here for the gains. And from what I'm seeing on the fundamental side, I don't really see many reasons for this token to explode except for the narrative base that we have right now, that AI is the thing and it's gonna solve all problems in the future. And the last thing that I wanted to point out is that on their white paper, or at least the document I could find here on Binance, there are a lot of projects that were mentioned. So for example, one of them is Resonate, which is kind of a social network. I checked some of these and what I found out didn't really make me very excited. So for example, on their social network, which I also think is kind of a marketing trick because decentralized social networks is also a thing now and a topic of hot discussion. But if you go to this is in a beta version, and when I try to go to the website, nothing happens. I'm still waiting for it to load, and actually I left the browser during the day to see what will happen, and this site can't be reached. And for me, this is like, you cannot allow yourself, if you're a serious company, to have such kind of links on your website and pretty much dead projects that you're advertising in some way or another. And another one is Atomics, which is claiming that it will change DeFi, and I cannot even count how many projects were trying to do this. But here I don't really see, like, where is the AI in this? I also don't see an actual project working, and there was one DEX that they were developing, or it was a test version I couldn't completely understand, which got stopped pretty much in the middle of 2022. And as you can see here, there's no volume, it just has a message, and the message was leading to public announcement, and this Atomics thing should be like the next level of evolution of this, but I'm not seeing any development. And if I go to their Twitter, what I'm seeing pretty much is copy paste of their main page of Fetch, and no innovation on this account, or no new information, no news, absolutely no nothing. So basically they're just using it as a retweeting platform for their main account, although they're claiming here that they're bringing the 20 trillion commodity market on DeFi. I haven't seen this. And obviously this for me is again a red flag for this project. However, with all of this said, let's see what is my plan and what is actually the thing that I'm looking for in order to jump on the AI bandwagon and invest some money. The first thing that I want to show you is if you go to CoinMarketCap and to Fetch.ai profile, here you have tags, and if you click to AI and big data, it will give you all its competitors and the main players in this segment. And you'll see that right now Fetch.ai is number 3 on the list. However, the market cap is really small. It's like $200 million, even after it has already pumped quite a bit. We're gonna look into the chart in just a little bit. But just to let you know, this entire space is still very small, and I think we're still very early if, and that is a big if, that the AI narrative continues to plays out. Because imagine that at some point, for example, ChatGPT becomes a paid service and everybody stops talking about it, and somehow it fizzles out. Then all of these projects, unless they build something and they can advertise it, I don't think they will go anywhere in the near future. Yeah, sure, they could go up together with the rest of the market, but really we're looking here for something special, because also the risk here is quite big. And this is the chart of FET token, and as you can see, it already had a serious pump last cycle. From the lows here to the top, we were up like 7,000%. And personally, I don't really like tokens that have already had a cycle and have pumped so much. And this was when the AI narrative is not strong. And that's why I'm giving this another shot and I want to look into it. And that's why I'm doing this video. Because if the narrative continues playing out, I don't think it will matter how good the projects are fundamentally. Because in crypto, this is what drives like 90% of the gains. Somebody on Twitter starts a thread, or some other company launches a product like ChatGPT, obviously in this case, and everyone's going nuts and are looking for tokens that can make them a lot of money. And when I showed you the list, it doesn't really take that much effort to find such kind of projects. However, what I don't like doing is jumping on the first wave, because I think there are a lot of risks involved, and that's why I want to see first of all the first pump that we're seeing here. And you'll see specifically on Fetch.ai that we had a couple of green weeks. Each was like this last one 70%, the previous one was 50%. We broke out of this resistance level here, but the question is, after the pump is over, over, and after the hype dies down, let me just clean up these charts a little bit. The question is, are we going to stick around at these levels and see some kind of an accumulation or reaccumulation pattern right here? Or this will fizzle out and will go back below this support level once the AI narrative loses its strength. And if the first scenario plays out, and if we see something like this right here playing out, and potential for a retest and confirmation of this level and then a secondary leg up, sure, I am very interested to play out in this narrative just as a separate trade. So right now I'm not chasing the hype. I'm looking for a good setup with good risk to reward and potential secondary breakout that will confirm to me that this has legs and it's not just another project with another random pump, which we have seen plenty in the past. And if we just give an example with decentralized social, which was another narrative that played out a few months ago, you'll see here on the chart that this is pretty much has done a full retrace, and that's not the projects that I really like to invest. I want to see some continuation, some strength, and to see continued interests of people that are willing to buy this token and give it legs up. What is my price prediction for FET? So I think if the narrative continues, and that again is a big if, we can easily go to its all-time high, and from where we are right now, this is around 300-400% gains. And if we really see developments in the space of AI, I truly think this will possibly catapult the price even above this all-time high. And keep in mind, this wouldn't be too hard to do, because if we have currently around $200 million of market cap and we need to like 4x from here, this is close to $1 billion of market cap, and that won't even make the top 40 on coin market cap, because even right now at these valuations, and obviously they will grow if we go into a bull run, but our Aave here, which is a big project and it actually has revenue, has $1 billion market cap currently. So I don't think $1 billion of market cap is like out of this world prediction. However, obviously the question remains, is it worth the risk, and how strong the narrative will continue to be? And that, of course, is a judgment that each one of you have to make. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, you know how to find me.